Honey, I heard you talking to Rebel. I've never seen her frightened before. I thought she had nerves of steel. It's a good thing Tony hasn't heard what his good deeds have led to. Yes, Madame Mayor smells like dirty money, but she told you the plain truth. Besides, helping Austin is in our best interests. We should at least try to turn this pile of shit into compost. Maybe something useful will grow. So, like, I guess I don't need to worry about firing anyone. Paul Gordon, Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy. Mr. President, Weister keeps waging his little info war against you. He added some hired pens to his new media, and now dirt's being flung at you from every outlet imaginable. We're doing our best to drown this agenda out, but we have problems getting through to the wider audience. Our solution is to try targeted PR boosting via minor theme publications. Should we acquire a few through third parties so we'd have somewhere to print pop pieces about you? Yes. Well, services? I don't have any employees, so I can't do any of these other things. Let's see how this works out. I have to not pay someone. I guess I don't pay. I guess I don't pay Holly. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. If this means that, like, if I can't hire anyone new and I'm in like this losing spiral, this might be one of the final episodes of the series. I didn't know this game is so long. Okay, Tony says, I can't believe you wouldn't help me impress my fiance's daddy. Some friend you are. Without your boys to back me up, I felt like an old fart going mano a mano against the young hicks at the fight club. I guess my experience didn't mean diddly squat against our youthful vigor. Our team got clobbered. My future father-in-law shook his head at me in disgust. And the Bangor Daily News wrote that Vice President squared off against some local yokels and got trounced. You really screwed the pooch this time, buddy. Like, I have no money. I have 3 employees, one of which I can't pay. I feel like I'll agree to work pro bono, mister, but only until the end of the month. Here's hoping you pay your debts with interest. Oh, hey, okay. Wow, honey, in just a month, our employee dug up more dirt than most FBI agents get in their whole lives. And just by leaving a bugged phone in the Golden Dumbbells locker room. Didn't I tell you? The wives know all there is to know about their husband's dirty little secrets. Okay. Dang, buddy. Andre dug up all the dirt on Hannah Peaches. She went back to Toronto after we broke up, and she actually did have a daughter soon afterwards. But the baby's daddy wasn't me, but some 3-time loser who goes by Blondie. Hannah was 2-timing me with him. Anyhow, Blondie gets locked up, this time for good. Apparently, when the daughter asked her mama who her daddy was, she went and told her it was an American bigwig named Tony Estaba. To be honest, buddy, in my heart of hearts, I guess I always hoped I'd have a daughter someday. She's a decent girl, so I told her the truth and gave her a little money for college. I doubt her real daddy gives 2 shits about her. After she gets back to Toronto, the kid got interviewed by every news outlet in Canada. I'm kind of like a local hero there now. Can you imagine? Things are looking up all of a sudden. Mr. President, we acquired 3 themed publications: Summer Retreat, Good Fishing, and Yum Yum Food. Summer Retreat printed a piece about your garden tending prowess. The Fishing magazine featured a topless photo of you angling for trout in Alaska on the centerfold. And Yum Yum Foods came up with a feel-good story from that time you baked ginger cookies at a fundraiser. No big deal PR-wise so far, but things are going to get better. Readers have already indicated how they like you having such down-to-earth hobbies. My reflexes ain't what they used to be. I'm worried my next job could be my last. Yeah, need a break. I have to pay them. We're getting closer to our goal with 5 months left. Shares in several major private prison companies are plummeting. There are increasing rumors in establishment circles that politicians are refusing to work with the prison lobby. When the president and first lady themselves speak out against something, many become cautious and take a wait-and-see approach. The military conflict in Brezhnev is gaining momentum. The unified forces of Hanna Duyevska, supported by Timur Pitlev, have taken 8 regions out of 11. The Brezhnev government asked for assistance from its Western partners. And we got Tony. Friends, people can change. Just accept this and be happy for your vice president. Stop gossiping about my loved one. To prove that I've grown up, I'm unfriending all the women I've had sex with. You're beautiful and worthy of true love. So he's got no friends left, I guess. Boss, my second grandfather died. I'm a grand orphan now. Don't expect me. Buddy, I've got to admit, all this stuff with the wedding, I hardly have enough time to keep up with all the voting results across the whole country, but I read the amendment was already ratified in California, Washington, Vermont, and Hawaii. That's fantastic, my friend. But Ellie told me there's nothing really major yet. Those states were going to pass the amendment no matter what. Still, my friend, it's good to see everyone supporting us. Hopefully my wedding with Peaches will drum up even more support for the amendment. Holy shit. Honey, we have some supporters who would like to help us raise your rating. Talk to Samantha Dickinson. She helped us once. I think she's likely to help us out now. Isn't that the one that got beat up? Enemy of my enemy. Win the tournament. Convince Argentina to disarm. Okay, I only have Troy. 2.5 million. Locker room chatter. A recording from the locker room of the elite Golden Dumbbell Fitness Club, featuring the wives of senators chatting about fashion, the weather, and their husbands' shady schemes. Those whose names are mentioned on the tape will pay well to keep it from the public. Okay, let's just sell this. Mr. President, I hear several senators are getting divorced. I hope it's not because their wives talk too much. By the way, I've already wired the money into your charity account. And I, of course, have no one to hire. Which sucks. But, you know, it's... Our approval rating's going up. We do have a fair amount of cash. We could actually pay the bonus that Holly was looking for. Let's send her on vacation, though. Enemy of my enemy. Senator Dickinson is hoping you'll return an old favor. If we can get it up to 90 and get this black gold thing, that would be huge. And plus some more employees. Mr. President, after being attacked by that son of a bitch in tights, Virtue Jack, or whatever his name is, it took me a while to come to my senses. That boot flying right at me, the shiny codpiece, the primal cry for justice. Anyway, I started focusing more on my safety. In fact, that's why I've decided to help you out with another crazy idea. All the others have worked. I heard about the unfortunate incident. How are you feeling? Not too bad, Mr. President. I hope you're not feeling guilty. It's dangerous being friends with you, but it's much more dangerous to cross you. Oh, yes, that's true. I've seen a lot of things in politics. The crowd's tastes are fickle and sometimes chaotic. But there's one thing the people always love: when the good guys catch a corrupt politician with his hands in the cookie jar. We need a high-profile corruption scandal so you can kick off a witch hunt. Not only will the crowd cheer and hoot while you're punishing the evildoers, but you'll scare the hell out of your opponents in the House. A corruption investigation can ruin anybody. Just watch. You'll have them all sitting quietly and keeping their heads down. So who's the face of this scandal? Javier de Baca. Remember him? Colleague of mine, the congressman from Florida. A very unpleasant man. You met him before you went to Germany. Yeah, not a great first impression. That's him. Tabaka is a total zero, a caterpillar with the ambition of an elephant. He also happens to be the most corrupt politician I know. He takes bribes, diverts funds, openly lobbies for his own company and his business partners. Chewbacca is always saying one thing and then doing another. I'm sure if you dig a little deeper, you'll find so much dirt on him, they'll start calling you the great anti-corruption president. Still leaves a lot of question marks. That's what they said about the amendment. Believe me, in my experience, this will work. It was nice to see you, Mr. President. We'll be in touch. I think she might be getting revenge on us. Honey, I heard there's some kind of infighting in the party between Samantha and Chewbacca. Let's not make any hasty decisions and check out Chewbacca first. City Hero Part 2. Find incriminating evidence. Sarah Turner, representative of the Society for the Protection of Animals. Mr. President, there's a new fad among Sea Party organizers. Deconstructing the last day of the Titanic. At least that's what they call those huge parties on cruise ships, themed after the early 20th century. With light shows and inflatable icebergs. All this unbearable noise and blazing lights are pure hell for the undersea dwellers. Mr. President, maybe we should impose a limit on the sound level and a ban on pointing light beams at water. People have the right to have fun, but it shouldn't make sea animals suffer. The sea animals aren't approving our amendment. Buddy, I just talked with my wife-to-be. Dang, this is such a cool thing to say. So she settled on a dress and also decided what she wants to do with it after the ceremony. Ever heard of the tax break one is entitled to after donating a wedding dress to charity? I mean, to hell with taxes. Peaches just wants someone to be as happy as we're going to be on that day. By the way, why wouldn't you and Ellie donate her wedding dress to the good cause too? Sure. Okay. We're still rolling here. City Hero Part 2. Virtue Jack is a peculiar nuisance to the politicians of America. Bill Birkin, FBI director. Sir, I'm sorry, but Virtue Jack is still at large. The people are cheering his name. Hollywood is even making a movie adaptation. 2 more of your supporters in Congress were beaten this week. We're doing what we can, but that Nipple son of a bitch is always one step ahead of us. We can only put together the clues in the comics after the fact, and we still haven't been able to track down the comics author. The light of the steel moon reflects off the smooth latex covering my biceps. The cold raindrops pound the Kevlar of my codpiece. Night, the perfect time to strike the next bastard. This time, Virtue Jack hunts a dog that feeds on human flesh, licking his master's bloody hands. A hound that only knows how to stuff his belly. He's no wolf. I, Virtue Jack, will shut his greedy mouth with one swift blow. There's a new comic book issue out that we're looking at. Maybe you'll be able to piece together who his next victim might be. The next target is the chairman of my fan club, Vernon Chuchley. Send your best people to cover him. Double the vice president's security details clearly about Tony. So, at what point do we try to take him down? Or do we keep trying to get ratings out of him? I don't care about the chairman of our fan club, so let's protect Tony. Roger that, sir. I'm on it. Sir, when Mr. Estaba saw my boys were watching him, he got real upset. He must have read the latest issue of Virtue Jack, plus all those years at the FBI. He must have put 2 and 2 together. To tell you the truth, I'm surprised he didn't think Mr. Estaba was the wolf. There's still plenty of legends about him in the FBI. He even had a nickname at one point, though it didn't stick for long, probably because of Mr. Estaba made it up himself. Virtue Jack attacked Vernon Chuchley, the chairman of your fan club, knocked out a couple of his teeth and punched him right in the stomach. He was wearing a t-shirt with your face on it, so the optics here are not so great. Maybe Virtue didn't like the guy riding your wave of popularity. The journalists are writing that punching your face that Mr. Chuchley was wearing is no better than punching you in your own face. In some ways, it makes you look even worse. People are picking up on the idea now. Do you realize that something needs to be done about this? That's not going to be good. The very real modern superhero continues to flummox our intelligence agencies, who are scrambling to protect even the president's closest allies. It would seem this story could be approaching a climax. Could a confrontation with the president himself be next? Buddy, I really hope you didn't forget to run the idea to donate Ellie's wedding dress to charity by Ellie herself before announcing it. She ran down the hall like a hellion and threw the thing at the courier so hard the kid barely avoided flying out the porch. The paparazzi who were there to capture the handing the dress over were able to catch her savage mug and bloodshot eyes on camera. Then she spent a good 5 minutes lecturing me on how I shouldn't be dragging you into my shenanigans. Okay, this black gold thing is just getting further and further away from us, eh? Soap bubble. The prison riot had unexpected consequences for the mayor of Austin. We have deport the migrants. Send an undercover agent to investigate the holding facility. I can't remember what that icon means, so let's take a look. We only have Troy. Rebel Shade. Mr. President, the evil sickness from that damn private prison they call the Pit has spread to my dear city of Austin. After the riot broke out, one group of fugitives led by someone named Soap slipped past our patrols and made their way to the Pecan Woods ranch. They're holding 30 people hostage there. We already read all this stuff. Please help us avoid a tragedy. Send us someone who can save the poor people from their insane convicts. Talented negotiator. No. Expert in covert operations. Remember, if you don't help, the private prisons will shift the blame of this nightmare onto me. I'm sorry, I can't. I might be able to do this, though. Jeff Knoll, human rights activist. Mr. President, I know you've decided to correct past mistakes and are now defending victims of the private prison system. But a certain undocumented migrant from Mexico recently contacted me. He claims the Border Patrol itself actually let him cross the border near Nogales, along with a group of other Mexicans. Needless to say, the migrants didn't start asking a lot of questions. Some of them assumed it was some kind of loyalty program. But just this morning, this loyalty program turned into a massive raid. Exhausted after last night's journey, the migrants were arrested on the streets of Nogales, pulled out of hiding and taken to court. Once there, they were instantly convicted of illegally crossing the border and sent to the Santa Unita private prison. I did a little digging, and the number of undocumented migrants sent to the Santa Unita has tripled over the last 3 months. I'm certain the warden is involved in this. If you send someone there undercover, you could get some proof. It would be best if you could send someone who looks like they could be a migrant from Latin America. Troy, you're my man! Okay. Nice. Nice, okay. Oh, we saved it, kind of. Mr. President, I thought you were interested in helping people and shutting down the private prisons. Fortunately, Carpe Diem sent a team of specialists to handle everything. My career is over as you failed war. My career is over as you failed war. Sorry? The riot at the Austin Detention Center has been put down. Carpe Diem's top private military contractors participated in the sweep. These heroes are credited with the rescue of 30 hostages at Pecan Woods Ranch. Prison officials have already given a press conference detailing the causes which led to the crisis and pointing the finger squarely at Austin Mayor Rebel Shane. How will Mayor Shane respond to reports that under her leadership and protection, a syndicate had been manufacturing and supplying drugs to the penitentiary? Ratings still going up a little bit. And money kind of stabilized. I thought I sent him on vacation. March 2024. Minus 2.4%. Fuck. We only have 4 months. Already more than 10 states have ratified Amendment 28 in the last month. Maryland, Massachusetts, Delaware, New Jersey, New Mexico, and Illinois were added. However, states that are voting later in the season are more contested. Javier Tabaka says, "Dear citizens of Florida, the upcoming referendum, vote for Amendment 28, or our country will be overrun by Chinese soldiers." Okay. Timur Pitlev, "I call upon the entire civilized world to recognize the provisional government of Hanna Dujevska as the only legitimate government in Brezhnev. Russia has already sent a mission to establish diplomatic contact." Ellie says, "Dear, the amendment vote is going well so far, but it's not time to relax yet. The toughest states are still ahead. These states will only vote for the amendment if your rating reaches 90% in the next 4 months. Otherwise, we won't carry enough states." Come on, Samantha, you gotta help me out. "Mr. President, I'm sure that if we look hard enough, we'll find something on Tabaka. He's corrupt to the bone. We still have a chance. I know how to catch him red-handed." "Honey, I recently put out a call through my channels reaching out to PR people. I said we were looking for out-of-the-ordinary ideas for promoting the amendment. It was just in case. I wasn't hoping for anything in particular. But out of the blue, I was approached by a very interesting individual, Jenny Usmani. She's a good music producer. She worked with Betty Barry before she got into drugs, produced Sarah Cocky's first hit, found Stan Mickelson in a dumpster somewhere, singing for bottles, and got him back on stage. All told, Usmani is the legend behind a lot of legends. I invited the producer for a meeting. Hear her out, honey. I think Usmani's idea has potential." Buddy, have you looked out the window lately? It's like there's an actual pilgrimage to the gates of the White House. Apparently the established witnesses forgot I don't live here. They might have tiny brains in their heads, but they've got lots of love in their hearts. But with all these people around, the situation is getting out of control. I'm a married man now, buddy. I can't just go and lead my flock off somewhere else. Help me out. Birth of a Legend, Sticky Hands, Impress the Aristocrat, Judgment Day, and Help the Homeless. Look at all these things that we have to do. But we got our 3 people. Strong 3 people. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I don't know if I can pull this off, guys. We're down to crunch time. This would be if I could get to 90. If I could get to 90, everything changes. It's just not enough to get me there at all. I'm gonna have to send Andrej on vacation. I have no items. No one to hire. At least we have Holly. I guess this is what we keep our administration at. Okay, Birth of a Legend. Meet with a famous hitmaker. Jenny Usmani. Hello, Mr. President. Nice to dig it. I'll just take a seat. Hello, Jenny. We didn't even say her name properly? You're so real, all right. But anyway, I'm here to help you out and try my hand at some politics. I've had this idea in my mind for some time, but nobody could ever do it, except the president. The idea is, we're gonna give you a backup group. Find the most talented and attractive guys, choose a catchy name, and we're ready to go, cutting hits. The first track is already steady. You'll like the lyrics. There's a line about a smile like the president, and something about 28 reasons for a change. Not too preachy, but it'll make people think. That sounds like some bullshit. I'm not interested. Will this work? You underestimate the power of music. You gotta catch a tune, people will memorize it and hum it in their head over and over. Doesn't matter what it's about. They'll feel the rest in themselves. Don't even get to raise a sweat. Nice and easy. Okay. Get started right away. I'll start casting in an hour. Just one thing for this group to work. And no one notices the trick. You're gonna need to throw some dust up in their eyes. Got it? We need to create such a shining legend that nobody even blinks when they see anything suspicious. So what's the legend? That's what you and me gotta figure out. Every time I see what you do in the White House, I'm impressed. You got some talent in there. If you were in the music industry, you'd be tearing everyone to shreds. The band should have a mysterious name, which people can argue and theorize about when they have nothing better to do. We have to choose some music that will appeal to the masses. We have to come up with a story about the trials that each band member endured on their path to music. Something that will resonate with ordinary people and bring a tear to their eye. Also, the band needs its own thing. Some kind of twist that will make future hitmakers have to dig even deeper. Something that will write my name and yours across history. Sound good? Yeah, no problem. So let's get started. You drive, I'll steer. We'll make music that sells. But it's also got to hit them right in the heart. And he formed a band, and the band was called 2 Pizzas, Nipple of Freedom, Tit POTUS, Club 28. Club 28's too obvious. Propaganda, not good. 2 Pizzas sucks. It's got to be either Tit POTUS or Nipple of Freedom. I'm going to go with Nipple of Freedom. Provocative. Ready for a show? Just the way I like it. Good, so let's move on. What's our genre, Mr. President? A boy band with 5 good-looking guys. A hardcore minority rap group. A nice wholesome cappella group. Electronica hip-hop fusion. A country quartet from Appalachia. A female synth pop duo? How does that work with us? Let's go electronica hip hop fusion. Mr. President, be still my beating heart. We won't even have to write any lyrics or hire any musicians. We can just sample everything. You're on fire, Mr. President. Now let's hear the heartwarming backstory. Each of the band members survived after being pronounced clinically dead. The band members were all at rock bottom until they met at an AA meeting. The band's first hit was written in a prison cell. Oh, that goes along with our prison theme. But that makes the prisons look good. We want to make them look bad. The band members all used to play supporting roles in musicals, but now they're ready to take the lead. The band members were abducted by aliens. I think they were all pronounced clinically dead. Mysterious. Nowadays, people are more into crime, of course, but that's not bad. I'm telling you, you were born for this business. One last thing. What's the band's gimmick? They play invisible instruments. It's a virtual band, so nobody knows what the members look like. Only one member of the band sings, the others dance. That's not that strange. The band members all walk barefoot. The band sings backwards. The band performs midair wearing jetpacks. Now we're talking. I don't know if anyone has done that before, but if they have, I need to see it now. I haven't heard anything so viral in hours. Nipple of Freedom, electronica hip-hop fusion. Each of the band members survived after being pronounced clinically dead. The band performs midair wearing jetpacks. That's one hell of a story. Sorry, I'm just blown away. I'll go leak this incredibly exclusive secret to a couple secret news outlets. Trust me, it'll be all over the internet in 24 hours. Then you'll see the first single won't be far behind. Oh, good God. In Memory of Johnson Part 3. Honey, I'm totally exhausted. I feel like I'm stuck in a horrible but extremely popular reality TV show. First, there was that thing with Holly, which by some miracle didn't end in a new investigation. Even the FBI is smart enough to see you're still too influential. But now the media is saying you're not just a child murderer, but a serial killer. Have you seen the news under the new news investigative piece? They're saying Johnson's death wasn't an accident. You sent your man to kill him after Ray threatened to make the truth about your crime public. An independent forensic expert, Zhao Ishin, confirmed that the murder was staged to look like an accident. I can understand why you made the decision, and they might not be able to file a case against you, but your polls are falling even faster than they're supposed to be rising. What should we do about all this? We branded a smear campaign that's gone too far. Hire an army of experts who can disprove all the delusional stories. Hire an army of experts. Honey, our defenders were on every outlet, at least the ones that Weister doesn't control. Someone even proved that Johnson's last scripts had reference to his planned suicide. We offset some of the reputation loss, but we still have a lot to make up. The goddamn Johnson! On the one hand, I feel awful, but on the other hand, I'm relieved. We're safe for now. I hate this. Is there any truth behind the accusations that the president committed a double murder? Expert opinion is split, as is public opinion, but it's been the #1 topic in the country for weeks. I don't know if I can do this, guys. I decided to go back and redo this choice because it basically made it impossible for me to win. Well, I'd have to get really, really lucky. And this game's random as fuck. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it just sets it up so that you win. I don't know. Anyways, I went back and I tried out all the different options. We need to eliminate the chief editor. There's no other choice. Honey, I'm sorry we had to use that approach, but politics is messy, and the other options looked even worse. This morning, the chief editor of Under the News got into his car and promptly exploded. The force of the blast damaged several nearby buildings. The media made a sharp turn towards the news story, and they dropped all the articles they were preparing about us. On the one hand, I feel awful, but on the other, I'm relieved. We're safe for now. So, our body count's going up slightly. I've kind of lost track. So I don't know where we're at, but it's getting higher. But that's right. No ratings hit. Okay. Morty Hogan, mayor of Oakland, says, "Sir, anti-grav aero boards, like in those old movies about the future, are now a real thing." You mean Back to the Future? "And they become a new fad in Oakland. Kim Yong-sok, the guy who created them, dropped me a line a couple days ago. Got a couple million venture fund money, time to get on the ball and make your city a place of the future, old boy," he wrote. "As if I wasn't trying to do that for 2 stints as mayor already. Trust me, sir, this is going to end in a lot of pain. Accidents all over the place, nation split into supporters and haters, hysteria and chaos. That's what the stuff is going to bring upon us. I say we put a ban on aero boards in cities before things get out of hand." Hell no, I want those aero boards. Wolfgang Stoffel, science advisor. "Mr. President, all's fair in love and war, and I suggest you use a very special weapon to boost your approval rating: hypnosis. It's got to be the easiest and cheapest way to instill people with the belief that they adore you and your amendment. I found a really experienced hypnotist called Volkov. He was an idol among the Soviet citizens in the 80s, but now he's based in Seattle. We'll film weekly sessions with him and broadcast them on TV for the older generation and load them up with chic shock for the young. What do you think?" Hell yeah! We gotta do everything we can. Wendy Gardner, former First Lady. "Mr. President, it's been nearly 2 years since Stu went missing, yet I'm still feeling uneasy. I've been having persecutory delusions lately with all those calls from hidden numbers. Some black car hanging around my house, and that guy I keep running into in restaurants and shops. I know it isn't usually done for former First Ladies, but I'd be very grateful if you could tell the Secret Service to keep an eye on me. Will you help me, Mr. President?" Sure. City Hero Part 3. Oh, great.